Hello, how are you? I'm Betty Lascano and I'm happy to be with all of you. Today, I am going to present a tutorial on how to create volume in thin hair that you like to keep long. We will do a two-dimensional coloring that I absolutely know you will really love and definitely enjoy. My model is a young girl. She has very long and very thin hair, and my daughter Paulina Lascano will also be collaborating in this video. I want you to stay until the end so you can meet her. I present to you Valeria. Take a good look at her and see the radical change she is going to undergo. Before starting with the bleaching, I am going to apply Yenvir Moisturizing Serum. This treatment will maintain moisture throughout the bleaching process, helping to prevent the hair from becoming dehydrated. To start this procedure, Paulina Lascano carefully straightened Valeria's hair to achieve greater precision and precisely when performing the bleaching. If you have very wavy or very curly hair, I recommend you straighten it first to get better results. Let's make the formula that we will use in this bleaching process. I will start with 3 caps of color powder plus 6 caps of 20 volume cream developer plus half an ampule of intensive therapy specially for brittle hair, carefully and thoroughly. Remember, Yenvir may not be enough with just 3 caps to perform this bleaching. If I need more product, I make more. The key is not to make too much product at once. It's better to make it little by little, so you don't waste any product. Paulina Lascano sectioned Valeria's hair in this way. She made 4 sections at the back from the crown to the nape, made a part in the center, and divided the hair from ear to ear. That is her first section, and from the crown to the middle of the head is the next section. She divided both into 2 ponytails, making 4 ponytails at the back, and in the front she made 2 sections and separated them with a braid. She started working on one side by carefully making a very thin section, doing it in a zigzag pattern on the scalp and diagonally, and meticulously. She did a light back comb and took the entire strand, applying the bleach to it. By applying bleach to the entire strand, this is to create dimension in the entire lower part of the nape. She will make several sections using this same technique. She is going to section it in the same way. She will take down a thin strand, making a zigzag pattern on the scalp. If you observe, the strands that Paulina Lascano is taking out are very thin. She separates them perfectly and bleaches them. If you take thin sections, you will achieve more effective lightening and avoid the risk of having spots when bleaching, for example, in the process. The more substantial the section, the higher the risk of the hair getting stained in general. Paulina Lascano will work the entire lower part from ear to nape using the same diagonal technique, making a zigzag on the scalp, doing a slight back combing, and bringing the bleach almost to the roots. Do not touch the roots but get close to them and create a slight tease. Work the next side in the same way, slightly. Once the first section of the lower nape is done, we carefully move on to the crown and precisely. Here, Paulina is also going to work diagonally She will take her first thin section, she will make a zigzag on that section, and on the hair where she will apply the bleach, she will do a light back combing and then apply the bleach. I want you to observe how she is applying it to the thick strand of the section. As I mentioned earlier, it is extremely important to perform these tasks carefully to avoid ending up with stained hair. In this way, Paulina will carefully work on this entire side and will continue with the next side, working in the same manner. This coloring gives a lot of volume. Remember, if you have thin hair and want to look like you have a full head of hair, I recommend it because it gives a very beautiful look, a very fresh and modern coloring. What I like most about this type of coloring is that it looks gorgeous on both young girls and women aged 40 and above. So it's a look that any woman who definitely absolutely wants to stay on trend can easily wear and enjoy. Let's move on to the sides. I want you to observe the first section that Paulina is separating. It is extremely thin and done diagonally. Yusan makes the first section. There is no separation, no zigzag here. It is a very thin section and applies the bleach. At no point does she reach the hair growth. When she is about to, she blends it out. This is how Paulina will work on the entire side. The second section that Paulina takes from the side already has a light back combing at the roots. This back combing she does is to slightly distinguish the new growth from the colored part and indeed to slightly prevent stripes and stained hair. I don't know if you've noticed colorations where the growth looks stained, like coppery, very golden. That's why, because they reach the growth but not properly and the hair ends up with a different coloration. I want you to observe each section that Paulina does. The first two sections were straight. Starting from the third section, she does a zigzag in the hair she is going to work on, back combs it, separates it, and applies the bleach. On the next side, the same procedure will be followed. It's time to move on to the bangs. I want you to observe the first section that Paulina does. It is an extremely thin section. She does a light back combing at the roots, applies 2000 dye bleach, and separates it. She takes a second section of the bangs in the same way as the previous one. Starting from the third section of the bangs, Paulina takes a thin section, makes a zigzag, leaves some hair out, and with the hair she's going to work on, she does a light back combing and applies the bleach. She performs this technique throughout the entire bangs. Once the procedure is finished, it's time to carefully apply some heat to speed up the process. In Valeria's case, we applied 20 minutes of heat. Do you like the world of beauty and want to learn how to do haircuts, coloring, makeup, and many more techniques? I want to tell you that I created this channel with you in mind, for those who want to learn how to do these procedures but with proper techniques. So I invite you to subscribe and hit the bell to activate notifications so you can be among the first to see the new video. Once the processing time has passed, it's time to remove the bleach. I want you to observe Valeria's lightening. It looks very clean and very beautiful. For Valeria, we are going to use two formulas for the toner, one for the roots and another for the mid-lengths and ends. The first formula that I am going to use, which we will apply only to the roots, will be 90 milliliters of 10 volume developer plus 25g of 7.1. We will mix this perfectly well and apply it only to the roots. This formula, which is specifically designed for the roots, will ensure even coverage and optimal results. This is to give depth to the roots, making them look slightly darker and blended. This will effectively create the blended effect and seamlessly add to the overall appearance. The formula we are going to use on the mid-lengths and ends will be 90 milliliters of 10 volume developer plus 12.5g of 9.1, 1000 plus 12.5 of 10.2 out of 10 points, 2. We are going to mix this perfectly well and apply it thoroughly and carefully from mid-lengths to ends, just as you can see in the way Paulina is doing it. If you observe, they first applied it to the roots, and now they are carefully applying the next formula from mid-lengths to ends, thoroughly and meticulously saturating the hair. Once the toner is applied from mid-lengths to ends, you will comb with a brush like the one Paulina has at this moment. You are basically going to try to unify the color of the roots with the ends. This will help you in order to achieve a perfectly blended color, which is extremely important to avoid those very unpleasant and noticeable lines. Once the toner has been applied, we will give it a processing time of 5 to 10 minutes. After that time, it is time to remove the toner. We are going to remove it completely, eliminating all the toner completely. In this coloring, we are going to use a shampoo with a blonde wash. This shampoo will eliminate orange or yellow tones and will give a very beautiful, very elegant, incredibly elegant color. I highly recommend it to you. Remember that you should also know that bleached hair requires special treatments to regain life and vitality. Once the blonde bath is removed, we will apply the intense blonde mask from mid-lengths to ends to seal the color. To finish with Valeria, we will move on to the makeup and hairstyling area. We are going to apply Yenvier liquid sculpting from mid-lengths to ends, this hydrating gel that will help us protect the hair from heat tools. Additionally, it will keep it hydrated and make the hairstyle last longer. Steffi is definitely going to take care of giving Valeria that makeup touch to make her look more beautiful. This is the final result of this coloring. As you observed, it is a very easy technique to perform if you do it with great care. Remember that the foundation of learning massage will always be practice. Girls and boys, if you definitely have clients with thin hair who absolutely want to achieve even more volume, this coloring is ideal for them.